If you want me, then meet me where I am. Yeah, you see where I am. So catch me if you can. Don't go back down, baby, no. Cause you need what I am. They can't be what I am. So
come right back.
If you can.
Let's do this right. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Hey, everybody. I got my free shirt on. Oakland! Huey. Free Huey shirt on.
Then meet me where I am. Yeah, you see where I am.
Alabama's in here? All right.
Don't go back down, baby, no.
How y'all doing? I'm waiting for Ivan to get on here.
Catch me if you can.
First of all, I want to say thank you for being a part of my journey and requesting anything for you. Thank you for that. I sure appreciate it. Awesome. Yeah. Cause you need what I am. Hey.
What's up, lad?
What's up, Docs? How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
You good? I'm so happy you were able to make time. I know you're busy. Thanks for coming online.
Let me ask you this. Where am I going?
You still busy. Musicians are still working.
Busy in front of my computer.
Well, that's producers. Y'all used to it.
What's up?
How are you? I like your hat, man.
Oh, thank you. My crown of flowers.
I didn't know we had memos to wear hats today.
Hey, look.
So I had mine on. Thanks for being a part of this.
This is called extended quarantine, where you don't get a haircut. You got to kind of step up your hat game in front of the Zooms and all of that. So that's what I've been doing, making sure that my hat situation is always on point. It's always fresh, always camera ready.
Not I. I looked a hot mess the last time I was on with PJ. I had just woken up because he had to do it earlier. See, I'm awake now. I'm like.
That was last week?
Yeah. I was like half asleep.
4 o'clock over there. This is like peak time for you right now in LA.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Listen, I'm so honored to have you once again on my project, another one of my projects. You've been there with me. Wait, how long have we known each other? Man, I met you at a Roots Jam, right?
Yeah, a Roots something we met each other at. No, it was a jam session, and I think it was 03, I think it was.
Yeah, I hadn't put out an album yet. I put out Soul Singer. Yep.
Yeah,
the first independent.
That's just like that. Just saying 03, it just rolls off the tongue like it was like 2-3 years ago. That's a long time.
That was a long. We've known each other a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And then we've been working since 2007, 2008, right?
2008, because I was working on Turn Me Loose. Yeah. I think that's where you came in. Were you there on Pieces of Me? I can't remember what you did on Pieces of Me.
I did. I was in there.
Yes, you did. Duh. So you came in on Pieces of Me, and that's when we started working. And Carvin was there too, a little bit more. So I saw Carvin there, and man, that was a blast. What I love about working with you is you let the artist be the artist. But you also are looking for, when we're not authentic, you find it like, you're like, no, that's not you. Right away. Well, I remember trying stuff more with you, and you'd go, no, don't do that. That's not real. I guess that's that Philly thing, huh?
Well, no, you know what? I think it's partly two things. It's part of one. I think the producer's job is to get out of the way of the artist, right? Like I think I do have to challenge. We have to challenge each other. I think I have to find my spaces here and there, kind of like if we was
Yeah.
playing basketball, let the offense come to you type thing. Kind of
Yeah.
find where I need to help reinforce what you need to do as an artist, but also the respect of the artistry coming from when I wanted to be an artist, and I was an artist for a hot cup of coffee, right? So you kind of do understand the nuances of when you're a performer, when you're in the studio. There are certain things that you gotta allow people to got to create certain little small boundaries, and you're creating,
Yeah.
even though you're trying to break silos, but you got to create little spaces for people to feel comfortable in. You got to create a penalty-free recording environment. So I always make sure it's never about me when I'm working, and it's all about you, because at the end of the day, when these records come out, they're not going to say, oh man, great production, great arrangement, great kick. No, they're going to say, wow, Ledisi sounds great. You know, that
Yeah.
song's amazing. So it's just the thing that I've always made sure that I carried. Like, get out of the way. You know, it's like your Kobe telling me, don't set no screens for me, don't set no
Right.
shit. I'm gonna take it to the hole, and that's how you gotta be. You gotta kind of let everyone have their space to be creative, and then we all come in together towards the end and make sure we bring it all home.
Yeah. You've always pushed though, and I love it. You remind me of uh how Rex produces. He just stays out of the way and then says when it's not real. I just love that honesty though. I have to have honesty when I'm working. I can't have any fake stuff. But anyway, we're here again, 2009,
Once
8.
again,
And once again, you're on the wild card with me. And this song is called Where I Am. And how it's funny, you'll give me tracks for like a whole album. I'll ask for all this stuff. And then it takes me 6 months
to find the one that you be like, yo,
to
what
find the one I like. And then
you know
you're
what?
like, what? I gave you that 6 months ago.
And I'm starting to notice there's like a pattern, like the tracks that I give you or that you end up writing to are usually like the black sheeps of the album. They all have their own little sonic thing that's like it's you, but it's different from what your fans know you for. And I'm always afraid, like, yo, they're gonna curse me out when they be like, what did you do? You ain't Ledisi. This ain't Ledisi. What are you doing? You trying to ruin Ledisi. So I'm always mindful of that, but it always works out. Like 88 Boxes is one of my favorite ones
That's my favorite. 88
from
Boxes
the
was
truth.
fun. Yeah. And that was different. People weren't
Yeah.
expecting that from me. But you're at almost towards the end of the album, right before I need this modern thing. You're my modern twist to things. There's a few producers I love that give me the standard Ledisi, classic Ledisi, and then I want the Ledisi, because I was told I have all these different voices. I didn't know that. Now I get it. I accept it. But I always want a modern twist to my classic, and that's where you come in. This song, Where I Am, you can roller skate to it. You can make love. You can argue with it. You can clean your house. You can do all kind of things with this song. It's not just one way. And then the way I sing on it, I sound like la, 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 but I'm actually cussing somebody out. Catch up.
It's definitely all those things, but I think the dope part about it is the attitude.
It's me.
Yeah. So, but musically, I think it definitely feels relevant, but it has a certain vibe of like that era around 2000, early 2000s, when like that neo soul movement was
Yes.
starting to
But
burn.
you were a big, huge part of that too.
I definitely made a few records in that little movement, yeah. But it definitely feels it's very current, but it definitely has a throwback aspect to it that a few people hit me up and they say, man, I love this vibe. It reminds me of da-da-da. And it's just kind of like, it gives them a nostalgic vibe to it. It puts them in a certain mood. But I think that it works now too, because a lot of the musicality that we were doing, that you were doing, it's kind of went through a phase where the music business wasn't really embracing that type of musicality, right? Now
Yeah.
you hear all these artists now, they all want to hear that type of organic sound and that type of chord structure and that type of texture, whereas now, like, it's more common hearing that type of sound on any artist now than it might have
Yeah.
been 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted on the wild card it to have familiarity, and but it's still so fresh. The approach is fresh for me, and that's how we do it. We've always done it like that, which is fun, like you say, risque. And that's why I called it the wild card. I mean, when you were listening to the song, or when I approached you, I said, Ivan, I want it to be no BS kind of energy on it. Do you think that's too far? And you were like, nope. Okay, what you gonna do? And then you referred. I said, who can write that with me? I had all the melody and all the nuances, but I didn't have the words, because I just had the hook, but I knew someone else could give me that swag that knows me.
You had that cadence too.
Yeah.
You had the cadence, which is dope.
I had it all, but not enough words. And I said, hey, I need help. And you were like, call Crystal, call Typewriter. So how long have you guys known each other? And why did you suggest her for this song?
Well, I've known Typewriter since 2004, because she was a part of our production company called Home Cooking. And we had producers, songwriters, engineers that we right here in Philly. And she was introduced to the team by a mutual acquaintance, and ever since I met her, we've been writing songs together. We've been Grammy nominated on a couple songs together. We've always written since we've met each other. So, and I think you might have been a part of a session during what album was that? Was that The Truth?
Yeah, The Truth.
Came to that session, and we all worked on a few songs.
Yeah, we worked on some songs too. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing about her is that she's pretty easy to work with, and I think the dope thing about Typewriter is that she's not a lot of songwriters when you say, hey, you know what, that's cool, but I don't know if this is as strong as it could be, and you give them some honest, substantive, constructive criticism. They typically take it in a way where it's like, it comes off as if you were making a personal attack on their art. She's not like that. I think she's one of those individuals that can work with a lot of artists like she's worked because of that particular reason. She takes that and figures out how to improve the record. You know, instead of feeling like, man, this is what I felt like writing, and this is the melody I wanted, that I had.
Right.
She works through the process until, you're happy with the final outcome. And I think that's probably why we still work a lot together. Because at the end of the day, it's really about the song. It's not about me or the songwriter who's the top liner or the engineer, or it is about the artist. I'm not gonna say it's not, but really the main vessel is the song. Like that's what's gonna always bring the attention back to everyone. So we always want to preserve that. And I think with her, she's always about making sure she gives you a good song in the end. And you talk to her through this whole process. You know how to.
I mean, back and forth. That's what I love about her. I can go back and forth with her with the song and be direct, like how you are. We're the same kind of people. We're just very direct. And she gets it. And like you said, didn't take anything personal and was looking for it. And I was so anal about every little word. Like it had to feel authentic. I was like, no, I wouldn't say that. And my audience wouldn't go there that far with me. And she go, oh, okay. Because that was more her. So I allowed her to create without me getting in the way as well, because I wanted her to be how she would naturally be on the song as a writer and how she interprets my melodies. And then I added me to it even more as far as the lyrics. So she's just the coolest ever. I just loved working with her. But when you heard it, Then what did you say? You
I was like, yeah, this is it. This is crazy. And I thought it was like, yeah, this is special because we haven't done nothing like that, you and I. So this was like, wow, it's got that bounce, it's got attitude, but it's also a a vibe, you know. And I knew people were gonna it was gonna resonate with people. But to go back to what you said, I think what makes it easier too is that you might be direct, but you also are a confident artist. Some artists are they think they know what they want, right? But then don't know how to execute it. But also they're always concerned with, well, is it really me? But I think you knew going into this that I want something like this. I wanted to sound like this. I wanted to feel like that, and I want to sing it like this. And I think even for a writer like her, it's a lot easier to actually execute because of how strong your convictions were with how you wanted the song to sound, or any song for that matter. So
yeah,
I think that's important for people to know too, as an artist. You know, whoever's listening, is that you have to find your convictions as an artist and be comfortable in your artistry, because I think that's the one thing this game knows how to do well is find your convictions and yank it out and stomp it in the ground in front of your face, and you'd be like, you trying to find Mary J. Blige records when you sound like Cardi B, you know, like it doesn't work. So I think that was really dope about you as you're progressing and as you're building on your artistry and independent artistry, may I add, right? So, hey, congrats too. Congrats on your top 10 record.
Thank you, Ivan.
You know?
I did it with everybody. We made it work. It took a team. But I definitely gave my all.
Did it with a team, but it's independent too.
Yes, Lord.
You know?
As Anderson .Paak would say, yes, Lord.
Self-owned business.
Hello. It was scary. I waited a while. You know the process for me. I was in limbo for 2 years. What is going to happen to my career? You know, trying to figure out what to do. So the best route was to just go independent and try it, you know, see what happens for me. I think it was, you know, because I was independent before, but we didn't have social media. We didn't have any of this. I had a blue card.
So now, okay, you said something that's key. You have social media and you're active. I watch you. I watch your presence grow. I mean, you've had a pretty good amount of followers for some time, but now you're getting your footprint is expanding to the point where, you know, you have a large audience that is attuned to everything, a lot of the things you're saying. So like, let me ask you this, like, how like when you dropped All Right and when you came out with that album, a lot, and that was independent, right?
Yeah, All Right wasn't an independent. That was the first
well, Lost and
but
Found
Soul Singer was 2000. Soul Singer and Feeling Orange. Found,
you were Verve already.
I had just started with Verve on Lost and Found. Mm-hmm.
But even that, right? Knowing what you know now and how you've seen how social media helps you amplify what you're doing. As an independent, it's almost like the playing field is level. Even you being an independent with the platform you have versus you being on a major like Verve. No slight to Verve. Shout out to Verve. They cut some checks for us.
Yeah.
being on Verve without the ability to be able to reach your audience the way you're reaching them. I think it's something to be said about the ability for us to really build on our artistry with these platforms. So like, how social media, how has that helped you? If you could explain.
I think it's helped, meaning I've reached a younger audience. I've reached audience across the US, you know what I mean? Around the world, not necessarily in one area, because before I couldn't tour as much. I didn't have enough money to get to London all the time, but now they can reach me and talk to me online. That's different, you know? That's how ancient I am. You know what I mean? We didn't have that back in the day. We had to spend $20,000-$30,000 just to get to one show overseas. You know, now we can do it virtually. We can connect with our audience and say hello. Before it was emails, you know, we we didn't have all these platforms that we have now. So I've seen it grow. And I can get a response quickly from my fan base. They could tell me, I won't like it, or yeah, we like it, or
that instant
please
feedback.
do more of that.
Instant feedback is worth a lot, isn't it?
Hello, it'll save you money.
It also saves your career. You're like, whoa, wait a minute, didn't I feeling that? Oh wait, I can't put that record out.
Exactly. You can test things. You can see how it feels online. You can actually build a show on YouTube, your YouTube channel, you know. And I did that before, but then I stopped, and now I know how important it is to go back to it. So it's really a beautiful thing, and also a terrifying thing at times, because, you know, I'm very personal. I like my stuff private, and I don't like to be this exposed. But people want to see you. They want to hear from you. But they want to know who you are as an artist, and what do you have to say about this and that, and why did you write this? They want to ask you questions. So, like they're doing now, and I'm missing all the questions. But it's a beautiful relationship you're building with your fan base. I like it. I'm starting to like it.
How are you maintaining during the pandemic? Like having the social distance and not being able to get on stage? Because I know that's probably an itch that you can't scratch right now. You know, like being able, like when you go through stuff.
Man, I watched everyone do shows online, and my issue again is always the sound. And you know how I am about sound. And you're one of my masters at sound, which I love. So that bothers me, but not being able to perform for people, it's hard to get used to that. So but I am going to make platforms so that people can see me perform again. I know some of you are asking, when are you going to do a show? I'm working on all that, because I'm very anal about the sound, particular about the sound. So we're working on that. And but yeah, COVID is good for me though. I'm rested. I'm creating. I am learning how to be an engineer again. Back in the day, I was an intern. Now I'm going back to my intern days, you know, engineering the studio.
Did you learn how to bake sourdough bread?
No, Ivan, I still.
Everybody's baking now. Everybody's like cooking. Everybody is in the kitchen now.
Yeah, the kitchen is no joke. I had to run from it, okay? It's cooking in there all the time. I do salads now, thank God. But yeah, I'm good. How about you?
I've been maintaining, you know, trying to keep that balance that you're being forced to find while you're, you know, social distancing. You would think that because we're not traveling anymore, we're not going to studios and getting on planes, that you'll be at home just chilling, doing nothing. But I'm doing more remotely in front of a computer than I probably was doing before.
Yeah.
And that's been the one thing that's been helping me stay anchored, because I think if we don't work, this thing can really, you know, do a number on you, you know, mentally. So being able to work and still collaborate with artists remotely, you know, figure out all my little apps and little hacks here, and programs that will allow me to stream my audio from my computer while you watch my screen, all these different things that help me stay on top of what I need to be doing, and stay creative and stay in the mix, more importantly, because you don't want to lose all your equity when we come out of this thing. You don't want to crawl out from under a rock.
Absolutely not.
But and then, you know, still going walks and running and doing all these things.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, still running, because everyone's running, which helps.
Yeah. Shout out to Jerry L. Jerry L's out here. Jerry L's out here wasting away. It's the running man. Have you seen
running,
Jerry L?
man. Yeah, he looks beautiful.
Yeah,
he doesn't play. I love that we are being creative.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people riding bikes. I know you're riding bikes too. You can't find bikes.
I love my bike. No, we found it on Facebook Market.
Yeah,
That's how we found ours. Yeah. I love, my husband found it for me and surprised me because I wanted a bike. I haven't had a bike in 10 years. That's how much I've been on the road. I don't have time to ride a bike, but I do now.
they're like gold right now. You can't find it. You go to like Walmart or wherever
Yeah,
they sell
no.
bikes. All the stuff is cleared out. You go online trying to find one. Unless you're willing to spend $3,000 on a bike, you're not gonna find a bike these days. So,
Wow, it's crazy. I know when we
crazy.
were looking, we couldn't find anything. But I'm happy. I'm just happy it seems like musicians and creatives, they're focused inward now on health and how to make themselves better creatively and physically and emotionally. Most of us. But we're still worried about how to pay these bills. You know, that's why it's like important to create so we don't focus inward on that. But it's going to change. I'm praying. I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful.
We
Positive.
all have to do our part, you know. And you and I were part of a panel a few weeks back, the Recording Academy panel on wellness. And
Yes.
you know, we touched on that. That's something that musicians and creatives and people who were creative adjacent never worried about before. We were always on the go, 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 go,
Yeah.
and you know, work, work, work. It was that whole the trope of like you go broke if you go to sleep, which is something that I don't understand in the industry. I always feel like if you stay up all night for 48 hours, you get rich, and I don't know how that really works, but that's how a lot of people were. You know, no one took the time to stop and really breathe. Now, a lot of us are being forced to just say, "Oh wow, you know that feels good." You
Mm-hmm.
know, so that right there, I think, is one of the benefits from us being forced to sit our asses down for longer than a month. You know,
Hello.
and hopefully, we come out of it a little bit more positive in our industry. People a little bit more aware and not as dependent on a profit, you know, because our industry puts profits over people, you know. So I think now you start to see people making more demands and demanding equity, right? But also demanding that these practices change. And I think that's key for a lot of us moving forward.
You post a lot about political uh, things, the
Yeah.
political climate that we're having, which is wonderful that you post about it. I do too, but I do it in a way that's kind of, oh, hi, goodbye.
You know what? Um, I stopped
I
a
was going to
while
ask,
ago.
why do you do that?
Why do I do that? Is because I believe
I
in the
know why, but the
I,
audience should
I'm
know.
gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I believe in. It sounds corny, but I believe in what this country, as far as democracy, is about. Right? I wasn't born here. I wasn't born in the U.S. I immigrated to the United States, which means I wasn't a U.S. citizen. I couldn't vote, and until I became a U.S. citizen, I would not be allowed to vote. So I look at where we're at right now, and I think people took a lot of what happened in 2016 for granted, and it really messed a lot of people up. And
Yeah.
it took me a few years to um, get energized again. And right
Yeah.
now, what we've been seeing over the past 3 years, but more so the past 4 months, as you know, with this pandemic and people losing jobs, and then you see the the climate in terms of social justice, and it's a turning point right now. This is a watershed moment in our history, and I'm just, if I can elicit a reaction from someone and just share something that they weren't seeing, it could probably turn into one more vote in November that will go out to the polls, or mail a ballot in, so that we can probably help get rid of the last 4 years that we've been living. So I think that we have to, you know, as artists, and we have a voice and we have a platform, just amplify it a little bit, because a lot of
Yeah.
people out here don't have that. So that's why I do it. And plus, I can't stand that dude. So I
I
mean,
don't never mention his name. I
yeah,
never say anything. I say, look what happened today.
he's like the symbol Prince changed his name to that we can't pronounce.
Ugh.
whatever that symbol was. So I will not say his name. But yeah,
I just, yeah, I'm saying that because not only do you focus on the world, but you also advocate for a lot of our creatives, musicians, and the work. Because of you, I'm an advocate for the arts, and you spark that for me. That's why I love you. You're a teacher, not just a producer and songwriter, all the things you do, but you also be outside of yourself. A lot of people are so into what they're doing. This is me, me, me. But you're like, hey, are you taking care of this? Are you good? Can you help this person? You know, you're always giving in that way, like a mentor to others with advocacy. What what made you want to do that? Did somebody pour into you? Because I never asked you that. I don't know who poured into you to do that.
well, I had good mentors, right? So I had people that were always like teaching me the game. Like DJ Jazzy Jeff was our mentor in Philly. He
Mm-hmm.
taught us a lot, gave us an opportunity. He took from him his whatever he built and gave us a platform. So I just felt like it was my duty to carry on and give back to other people. But I got involved with the Recording Academy, and I think that was the spark that ignited that music advocate side of me, right? So
Yeah.
once I started getting involved because of the awards process, and you know, I was invited to the awards, one of the awards committees, and I
Yeah.
really felt like this is wrong. It shouldn't work like that. And they said, hey, if you want to fix these things, you got to get involved. Why don't you run for governor in your chapter? And I ran for governor at the Philly chapter. And you know what that's like, because you were a governor in San Fran, and you were governor in LA.
Yeah.
Then I was chapter president, and I started doing all these things, and I started realizing that we're part of a larger ecosystem where we came in and we found things already the way they were. And there are also people that found it the way they were, but instead of preserving, they were actually destroying. So I figured out that I have to try and leave this thing better than I found it. So started getting involved in music advocacy. Was the thing that I was most taken by inside of the academy, like how to make sure we're getting paid
Yeah.
what we deserve, how to make sure our music and our rights are protected, how to make sure we're lobbying on behalf of creators. And look now, like this pandemic has resulted in one of the most eye-opening experiences for a lot of us in the industry. We're the first to close and last to open. You know,
All the time.
so
All
now
the
it's kind
time.
of it doesn't end. Now we're lobbying to make sure that we are seen as essential workers. You know, not necessarily essential in the same vein as someone that's a first responder or someone that works at a hospital, but don't devalue us. We pay taxes. You know, we're part of our communities. We have businesses. A lot of the things that we do, when we go on tour, we employ a lot of people locally because we go on
Can
tour.
you preach?
You
Tell
know?
them.
So, but they don't see that. They just see that, oh, you're an artist. And, you know, it's all glamour and glitz. You don't need any financial assistance. And I think that in lobbying and advocating for creators, you help try to build on what we do as a creative arts culture, to try to educate our leaders to see that,
Yeah.
you know, we are just like everybody else in America. You have to protect us. We look at what D Nice was able to do with Club Quarantine. People don't give him enough credit for helping himself save quarantine. Look at the Versus thing that Swizz and Timbaland helped put on, right?
Yeah.
Our culture helped shine a light in a way that we were able to co-opt this space here in social media spaces, whether you're talking about Instagram Live and how a lot of our friends are performing via IG Live, or going on Twitch, or finding whatever platforms they're finding, because we have to be resourceful. We have to figure out a way to get in front of our audiences. And once we did, we were able to make the quarantine bearable for a lot of people. So if that's not essential, I don't know what is, right? So we try to advocate. I'm also part of a new not a new organization. They've been around, but they're called the Artist Rights Alliance. I'm on their board of governors, and we're also advocating for a lot of the same things. We just we just sent the letter to Congress asking that they help pass legislation to keep political candidates from just taking people's records and playing them during campaign rallies. Because if you hear a record of yours being played for someone whose political ideologies you don't align with, they'll be like, "Oh man, what's wrong with Ledisi? You know, she's
and
MAGA."
they'll think you approved it, right?
Right. So because of that, Neil Young had a song "Rockin' in the Free World." Trump's been playing it at all his rallies. He sent them cease and desist letters. He wouldn't stop. What did Neil Young do? Yesterday, filed a lawsuit. And it all came on the heels of this letter that we sent in, signed by a lot of artists. So yes, advocacy never ends. We got to keep fighting, and we got to be politically active, because that's all part of our rights as Americans, but more importantly as creators. You know, we have to amplify voices for people who can scream. You know.
Yeah, I mean, there's families attached to this music. There's college funds and health insurance, you guys, attached to the music. That's why, you know, just like any, I don't call it a job, it's because we love it, but we're also risking it all and not sure if we're going to get money in because we love it. But we also have to make sure we're taken care of as well. Like you said, we're essential workers. I don't know what I would have done without music through this. I mean, and the entertainment that goes on social media is
a lot of
very
entertainment, especially over the last couple of days.
Hello, I'm gonna be quiet. But anyway, Philadelphia. I wanted to ask you. So people haven't heard the album yet, but I said, "Hey, Ivan, why don't you listen to the whole thing, the wild card? What do you think? You know, because I always send you the whole project because I want you to hear it. But it's always after it's done. Like I can't make any changes, so it'd be too late for you to help me make changes. So I'm like, here's the whole album. What'd you think?
I thought it was amazing. First of all, I love that cover. That cover is bomb, y'all. Hell yeah. It reminded me of like a record I would have been digging for and be like, I don't have my turntable out here, but I know it's some fire. I'm gonna buy this. I know there's gonna be some samples on it. So it's got a throwback vibe, but it's just still very immediate and now. You know, it's like you being unabashedly you with the hair all out. You know, so that's pretty dope. But I think sonically, you're in a great space, and from an artistic point of view, I like what you're saying, what you're talking about on there. It's some amazing music. I don't want to give too much away, but
I don't want you to say too much. I just wanted you to say something though.
No, it's really it's growth. I hear the growth and I hear the comfort level. This time around as an artist, feeling like I'm just gonna make a record that I want to make, and not necessarily saying I have to make a record because I have these benchmarks that I got to hit for my label, and they want me to be able to go to this format and get on these playlists. And I think that when you do these records, and you just do them from the soul, they find their way. They end up going where they're going. I mean, look at right now. You just hit the top 10 on your own without feeling like this is a record that I got to make to try to hit this format. You know, and I think doing it, knowing that this is what your fans want to hear, because you've been able to build up an audience over a prolonged period of time, and that's also important. You can't necessarily do records that would piss your audience off, but at the same time help grow your audience and help your audience expand their taste. And I think they're gonna be surprised when they hear this, and they're gonna hear the old Ledisi, but they're also gonna hear some cool new things in there. And I can't wait. What, 4 more weeks now, right?
4 more weeks, man. I'm a nervous wreck about it, but I'm excited at the same time. I'm thrilled to have I've been hands-on on this one a lot, like really producing. And I was telling you, I was like, Ivan, I'm in here saying what I want.
I was like, oh no, it's not a good thing.
We're in trouble.
Nah, but But it felt good though, I bet.
It felt great to like speak up and not whisper or send a text or email like artists are afraid. But I've never been like that, but I've always been careful. But I was leading. I don't care how many Grammys this person has. I want this. You know what I mean? And I need them to play it like this. Can they change that? I know that's what they're known for doing, but
Yeah.
can they adjust to being a part of where I'm going? And everyone did, and they did it beautifully without fuss or anything. The respect level has changed. I think I don't need all these things to be Ledisi. Like I'm Ledisi. This is it, and I'm okay with my lane and wherever it's gonna go. I'm like, oh, cool, that happened, awesome. Let's keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm like Nemo, keep swimming, just keep swimming.
and you know what? Like we were talking about earlier, instant feedback. The thing is, you put it out and get back on the horse again. Make more
Yeah,
art.
yeah.
And who knows? The next one may be totally different than what you did here. But
Well,
what
you know
matters
me,
is
I'm a
that,
chameleon.
yeah.
I
But what
switch up.
matters is you did it when you felt it. And I think that they're gonna hear that, and they're gonna totally appreciate that. And a lot of it was done in quarantine, right?
Man, the last two songs were the
Okay.
last two were, but most of it was kind of done right before it, like right at March. We had just finished, and March hit, and it said, "And shut it down." That's when I was calling you and Guru to help me set up my little makeshift studio in here. I was like, "Help!"
I don't know how many people's studios Guru set up like that, y'all. Like
He's a genius, man.
yeah, man. There's a lot. He's a quarantine MVP. He helped a lot of people set up their rigs, and there's a lot of people, quite a few people that I know deserve MVP awards for what they're doing behind the scenes
I
with
agree.
helping artists that we know build rigs so that they can perform, or build like their system so that you can record remotely. All these different things that a lot of people don't even understand. Um, is what's keeping our industry going, and Guru definitely deserves shout out for that.
He does. He's amazing. He's the one I was like, which mic? It was you, Guru, and Rex. That's all I need help. I was like, I gotta finish this project. We had to turn it in or it wouldn't come out in August. I'd have to wait a whole nother year. That's what people don't know. The deadline is you have to meet the
Deadline.
deadline. Yeah. But this has been an honor having you. I mean, we can talk for days. I'm just glad you were able to squeeze me in out of your schedule
Man,
because
whatever, yo. I'm glad you
you are
invited me and
always
had
on
me
that
come on.
computer.
No, well, I don't.
And this,
I need to break the monotony. That's what I need to do. 'Cause it's just like it's become such a routine. It feels like it's Groundhog Day every day, like the same thing. Thankfully, the NBA season started, so like I just have my iPad in front, like below my computer screen. So while I'm
oh,
working, I'm just going
mm,
down like watching the score, and I keep working, and I keep, it's just something to at least help break the 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 static approach that I've been a part of for the last 4 months. So now that's been a little bit of a treat. But yeah, this is a good break. I'm glad you invited me to come on here and talk about
let me see if the
some of the
people
music we
asked you any questions really quick. No, they're all for me. Okay.
They don't
I'm
want to hear
the
from
virtual
me.
concert, maybe. Do another acoustic CD, maybe. Anthony Hamilton. I asked Anthony Hamilton, can I sing with him? I'm waiting on him. Let's see. COVID, where do you plan to go on your first after? I do not know, but I'm getting out of here. Okay, cool. How do you I'm starting a new social media account. I don't know anything about that. Okay, I tried to ask.
I just saw the
Yes.
homie. I saw the homie DJ Terry Hunter. What's up,
Ah,
Terry?
dope.
The
Hey,
homie from the
Terry.
Shy. I see
That's
my
so
man
dope.
Javad right there asking a question.
Oh, question for Ivan. There you go.
How do you produce so many genres evenly? Collaborate with people like Mr. Clinic, aka Javad, who just asked the question.
Man, Ivan, would you show us your process at some point?
You know
Maybe. We
what?
can't tell all the secrets.
I might do that. I haven't done anything. Like I've been doing all these things for other people and panels and moderating panels, which you've seen, but I'm yet to do anything during quarantine that's about me and my setup and me working, showing my screen. So maybe I'll do something, you know, going through a mix or something.
What songs did we do together? I'm trying to remember all of them. So many.
We did
88 boxes.
I
Where
need
I am.
love. I need
I
love.
need love.
Um,
I need love.
alone.
Somebody touch me. Somebody you want. That was my jam, man. Okay, sorry.
Alone.
Alone. That's another one. My husband loves I Need Love and Alone. Those were his favorites.
Gotta get to you.
Gotta get to you. That should have been a single. But anyway, go ahead.
I swear.
I swear. Yes. On the acoustic CD. Yeah. You remember all of them. I can never remember.
Yeah, no, I have a weird memory. You can ask me about something that happened 5 minutes ago. I'm like, what? But something from 30 years ago be like vividly embedded in my brain. I don't know how that works, but.
Ooh, a soul house joint. That would be dope. Ivan, you doing that?
All right, let's go.
I'll do it with you.
Next
you want to do? I'm free now. I can do what I want.
I can do what I want. I can do what I want.
I can do what I want. I'm trying to answer all these questions before we go. Okay, they're talking about me, but I love y'all for being here. Everybody for coming through. Ivan for making time, because I don't want our hour to go up. Usually I'm like 20 minutes and I'm out.
Yeah,
but I love this conversation. They need to know how much you do for our community, our creative community, outside of just producing and this massive catalog you have. But you're amazing, Ivan. Thanks for being my friend. Thanks for being on this project again. Another one.
And this is
I can't wait till you see the video. I'm waiting for Ron to finish it.
I know.
It's so beautiful. And of course, Beyonce already did some stuff that we're doing in it, but I don't care. I'm gonna still put it out. That Black is King is amazing.
Again.
Look, you know what? Goodbye, Philly.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for hanging out. I love you, Ivan. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for having me, Ivan. I appreciate it. Bye.